Big Joke briefs reporters on 6 million fraud to secure bail for a detained UK man using his name. Alert and assiduous Immigration Bureau officer at Khen Immigration Bureau Detention Center in Bangkok foiled efforts by a senior serving police officer and another man connected with the plot to gain access to the British national being held after his arrest and pending his extradition on foot of an Interpol notice. Thailand's most popular policeman Big Joke or Police Lieutenant General Surakat Hakparn found himself at the center of a criminal conspiracy this week as he briefed reporters on a failed attempt by two men using his name to secure the release of a young British man detained by the Immigration Bureau in Phuket after being wanted to face justice under an Interpol arrest warrant. Police Lieutenant General Surakat Hakparn, Center, briefs the media on Tuesday about the case of a serving police officer and others using his name in connection with a 6 million fraud after a woman paid the money to secure the temporary release of a UK detainee from the Immigration Bureau Detention Center at Khen in Bangkok, Inset, after he was arrested in Phuket on foot of an Interpol red notice related to drug charges and is being held while awaiting extradition. 4 other suspected accomplices relating to a 6 million payment made by a woman to obtain the release, on bail, of a UK man being detained at Khen Immigration Detention Center are to report to police next Monday after the main suspect in the case met with investigators at Pak Klongsan police station. It is reported that Police Colonel Ramit Kauzungnan, a superintendent serving with Mae Hong Son Provincial Police, has already met with investigators and has been granted bail after reporting to police on his own accord. Police pressed charges of conspiracy to commit fraud against 5 people after reviewing the case on Monday. On Monday, it is reported that officers at the police station in Bangkok decided to press charges of conspiracy to commit fraud against 5 people involved after reviewing the evidence in the case. The matter came to light when a Thai woman named Ms. Tharawan Kungham, who had been working to secure the release of the British man from Immigration Bureau detention, found that those she had paid money on the basis of securing the release of the detained man had failed to pursue the matter after the monies were paid over and began avoiding her phone calls. It is understood that those involved falsely used the name of high-profile police officer, Police Lieutenant General Surakat Hakparn, to convince the woman that they could secure the release of the UK national from the custody of the Immigration Bureau. Identity of UK man not revealed. He was arrested on foot of an Interpol warrant on drug charges. Police have not revealed the identity of the detained man at this time, but it is understood that he is a young UK national who was detained by the Immigration Bureau in the Rai Beach area of Phuket on foot of an Interpol arrest warrant and that he is wanted in the United Kingdom in relation to drug charges. The man is being held at the Khen detention facility operated by the Immigration Bureau, which has the power to detain foreign nationals in Thailand pending their formal extradition to other countries or deportation. In reporting the case to the officers at Pak Klongsan police station, Ms. Tharawan explained that when efforts to secure the release on bail of the UK national being held were unsuccessful, she approached Mr. Thanawat Thamthanpan. He told her that he knew 67-year-old Withyasams Risamzakal, whose friend, Police Colonel Ramit, was known to the Assistant National Police Chief and former Immigration Bureau boss, Police Lieutenant General Surakat Hakparn, also known popularly in Thailand as Big Joke because the two had attended police academy together. Woman told that officer with connections to Assistant Chief Police Lieutenant General Surakat Hakparn could secure bail or temporary release for UK man. Mr. Thanawat had reportedly assured the woman that the influence of the Big Joke could swing the temporary release of her friend from custody. She was told that to secure the cooperation of Mr. Withai and Police Colonel Ramit, she would have to pay a fee of 6 million. On Tuesday, the Assistant Police Chief, Police Lieutenant General Surakat himself briefed reporters on the case. He explained the full facts of what is known to have transpired and the circumstances to reporters. Businessman sets up his own arrest posing as one of Thailand's most senior police officers at airport. Arrested, woman in Singapore using fake online profile to pose as the daughter of Thai army boss. It is not unknown in Thailand for the names of senior police or indeed military officers to be used in such a context or even for impersonation to occur. Big Joke, Thailand's favorite policeman who was removed from active police duty for nearly 2 years. The top cop is famous in Thailand for his role as crime buster and also his eventful career as Immigration Bureau boss, during which he moved decisively to modernize and shake up the country's immigration police service until he was removed mysteriously in April 2019 and seconded to the Prime Minister's office. Big Joke promoted to a new role at Police HQ, working on reform of the force from April after reshuffle. Big joke - shock as Thailand's best-known and most high-profile police officer removed abruptly from post. Thailand's top immigration cop wants genuine foreigners to come forward. New visa regime is forever. Police Lieutenant General Shurikat returned to active police duty, in a roving role as Assistant Police Chief, in March 2021. As before, he has been involved in high-profile cases dealing with the smashing of underage sex rings, human trafficking networks, call center gangs, while also being a key advisor to the government and authorities on safety and better policing to protect foreign tourists. Big Joke is both a respected and much-loved figure among the Thai public and is also highly thought of by most foreigners in Thailand because of his commitment to fighting corruption, particularly against foreign visitors or residents. Two of the men involved in the case had tried to gain access to the UK man at Bangkok Immigration Bureau Detention Centre on June 29 but were foiled. On Tuesday, Police Lieutenant General Shurikat revealed that the two men involved in the case, Mr. Thanawat and Mr. Withaya, had visited Bangkok Detention Centre in Bangkok on June 29 last and asked to speak with a British man being held there, privately. An officer on duty at the facility, however, refused them access, at which point he was put on the phone to Police Colonel Ramit, who told the Immigration Bureau official that the British man had occasionally operated as a police informant and that his colleagues should be allowed access to his cell. On Tuesday, Police Lieutenant General Shurikat also confirmed that the senior serving police officer had used his name in connection with the request. Again, the officer on duty refused the request, citing strict regulations, and referred Police Colonel Ramit to his superiors to gain access to the detained man. The two visitors withdrew money transferred by Ms. Tharawan to secure the temporary release of the fugitive from custody. At that point, Ms. Tharawan was informed by Mr. Thanawat that Mr. Withaya would require the 6 million sent to a specified account so that efforts to secure the release of the detained man could proceed further. The money was transferred as requested. These funds have been the subject in the last week of police inquiries, as they were traced to newly created third-party accounts which eventually were funneled into accounts controlled by Police Colonel Ramit and Mr. Withaya. After the money was transferred, Ms. Dewaran found that efforts to secure bail for her UK friend became inactive, while she also had difficulty in reaching Mr. Withaya by phone. 4 others charged and to meet with police. In addition to Police Colonel Ramit, the other 4 charged include Mr. Withaya and 3 other individuals, 43-year-old Aparak Thiangtham, 35-year-old Natnari Bunma and 26-year-old Thipsuda Insongjai. All are charged with conspiracy to commit fraud, although other charges may later be pressed. Police have revealed that the 3 other charged, as well as Police Colonel Tamit and Mr. Withaya, were involved in setting up the bank accounts which were used for channeling the money to the accounts controlled by the 2 men who received the payment from Ms. Tharawan.